Good evening, I am your host, NAMI Dearest, and you are watching the Commitment Hour. My special guest this evening is our favorite NAMI mommy. She is here with us this evening to share her own sort of love story. We are pleased to have her here with us for this special Valentine's Day edition. Thank you for joining us tonight. What special Valentine's Day gift ideas do you have for our mentally ill loved ones?
Thank you for having me on your show again, NAMI Dearest. You know I can't get enough of the media attention. It tickles me pink, like a Valentine. As you also know, I have a severely mentally ill adult daughter, and I am stuck caring for her even though I have much better things to do with my time. But I do it all for love, and that's one of the things I want to talk about today. Love of psychiatry. If not for psychiatry, us NAMI Dearests might be blamed for the behaviors of our very sick adult children.
Yes. I understand that kind of love. I once hid in the shadows, fearful that my daughter might tell people why she believed her father wanted to kill her, and then I discovered psychiatry and their friends, the pharma front group for friends and family of the mentally ill that supports an agenda that makes our lives a little more bearable. They taught me that it was not my fault. They taught me that my daughter was suffering from a psychiatric brain illness, and that if we could get her to take psychiatric drugs, she would be easier to manage. It is easier, but it doesn't fix anything. This could go on for many more years. It's not fair.
Yes, the pharma front group for friends and family of the mentally ill has been a wonderful support for my husband and myself, but it is psychiatry that has saved us. The first step was simply getting her labeled with a psychiatric disease. The neophyte might assume that this means all sorts of costly blood tests or brain imaging technology, but it means nothing of the sort. Just take your problem loved one to a psychiatrist and rattle off a list of undesirable behaviors, and you can leave the office in 30 minutes' time with both a psychiatric disease and several prescriptions. But that's only the beginning. There is still much work ahead when that part is done, and it's most definitely unfair.
Can you tell us how psychiatry has transformed your life into a love story?
Of course. I tell everyone. I am a selfless martyr who spends my days fighting mental illness and praying that the truth never gets out. My daughter does not think she is sick and does not like to take her health-giving medications, so I obtained a court order to have her forced to take an injection. The drugs are working so well that she now has insight into her need for assisted outpatient suicide, also known as AOS. It's a new euthanasia program for the severely mentally ill, and our fearless mental illness policy hero, Mr. B.J. Daffy, is helping us lobby our lawmakers to make this program widely available.
That's wonderful. As you well know, the severely mentally ill are often excluded from the suicide decision process, leaving them to fend for themselves with nothing but rationed pill quantities and rusty old razor blades. I know I don't have to tell you that our current euthanasia program for the seriously mentally ill, biological psychiatry, takes far too long to have effect, shortening the lives of the suffering by a mere 25 to 32 years.
That is correct. We are hoping that this new program funded by the Fascist Treatment Advocacy Center will grow in popularity and spread across the nation. I am starting a NAMI Dearest Family to Suicide chapter in my town, inspired by recent requests from my daughter that I not intervene if she is suicidal. I have reluctantly agreed not to intervene, even though I do feel it is crucial that she be forcibly drugged for her own health. I need to be sure that she has drug-induced insight into her desire for suicide.
Yes, good thinking. This sounds like the way we restore an accused criminal to sanity by drugging them, so they can sit quietly in the courtroom during trial. When they are quiet, you know they have insight.
Exactly.
Please tell me more about the inspiration for assisted outpatient suicide.
Of course. My daughter has been so seriously ill with her neurobiological psychiatric disease for such a long time, that I cannot bear to think about how many more years of this we are going to have to endure. I knew right away when she suggested I not interfere if she were suicidal, that she must be showing insight into her incurable disease. I wanted to help, so I started to research assisted suicide for other terminally ill patients.
But, wait. Is mental illness a terminal disease?
only when they suicide, but who wants to live like that anyway? It's painful, and it's a drain on the caregivers and on society. My ultimate inspiration came from Action T4, the Nazi Germany's eugenics-based euthanasia program, during which doctors ended the suffering of thousands of people who were deemed incurably sick by critical medical examination.
Oh, my. That is so progressive and so compassionate.
Yes. We have created the Committee for the Scientific Treatment of Severe Genetically Determined Mental Illness. We have followed in the Nazi footsteps, establishing the Forced Treatment Advocacy Center. We have learned from history that medication, starvation, gas chambers, ECT and seclusion are not enough and often take a considerable amount of time and resources in order to euthanize the mentally ill.
So, what do you propose in place of the old system?
We are planning and organizing detention camps for the mentally ill who still lack insight into their suicidal desires. For those, like my daughter, who have clearly examined the merits of suicide for ending the suffering of severe mental illness, we are setting up what we are calling the permanent solution. The severely mentally ill who have drug-induced insight may come to our suicide drop-in centers for assisted outpatient suicide by lethal injection. It is quick and painless, and just as with hospice, family and friends can be by the side of their mentally ill loved one during the final exit. This is a story that begins and ends with unconditional love.
Bravo! You are truly an advocate among advocates. I am your host, NAMI dearest. Thank you for sharing the love with us tonight on the Commitment Hour. Happy Medicated Valentine's Day to all.